Welcome to the channel Streetdawg Worldwide. I am your host, Stephen Stewart, also known as the original Streetdawg. This section is titled Howlin with the Big Dog, featuring my Popz, Elijah Stewart. Welcome to Streetdawg Worldwide's Howlin with the Big Dog. This happens to be the last episode recording of the year 2025 for us. I'm here today with Popz, the big dog himself, Mr. Elijah Stewart. How was your 2025, Popz? How you feeling?
Cold and trying to keep warm, but otherwise my health is pretty good,
Good stuff. Let me make sure things is up. All right, before we jump into the final week of the NFL season and talk playoffs for both college and professional football, I want to slow this down for a moment because it's that time of the year again. Everybody's talking about New Year's resolutions for 2026. But the word resolution, Popz, gets thrown around so loosely that we forget what it actually means. A resolution isn't a wish, it isn't a hope, and it's definitely not a slogan you post on January 1st and forget it by February. By definition, a resolution is a firm decision to do or not do something. It comes from the idea of being resolved, meaning settled, determined, and unwilling to quit when it gets uncomfortable. So when we talk about resolutions, Popz, we're really talking about discipline, honesty, sacrifice, and follow through. So with that said, Popz, you lived long enough to see people make promises, include yourself, and break them. So before we talk football, I want to pick your brain for a little bit on what resolutions really mean and when life is involved with it. So Popz, in your experience, why do most people fail in their New Year's resolutions? Is it lack of discipline, lack of honesty, or lack of purpose?
Well, you could throw in all three, but most people make resolutions that, in a sense, when they make them, they know they are not going to be able to keep them. So why
they know they're not going to be able to keep it?
Most resolution people know, hey, I'm gonna quit eating so much. I'm gonna quit drinking so much. I'm gonna quit doing. They know when they make that resolution or make that promise that it's damn near impossible to keep. So, but they make it. A lot of times they make it in good faith, but they know that, as a whole, it's going to be hard to keep, and in the end, it failed. So most people. What I try to do, I try to make a promise that it's not hard to keep. See, my New Year's resolution is I'm gonna exercise and watch what I eat at least 3 days a week. And that's feasible for me. I don't know about anyone else. I set a time limit on my exercise. I set a meal schedule for what I'm gonna fix to eat. If I'm gonna eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I'm gonna make a schedule for that, and I'm not gonna go over it. So it's hard to keep these promises when when you make them, it's damn near impossible to keep. But you trying to, I say, look good in front of your friends. And that's the worst thing you can do. To make a promise, it's going to be hard to keep. And it's just, I don't know, it's just people make those resolutions and they know it's hard to keep them, but they make them anyway. And they start out fine, maybe the first couple of weeks, first month is fine. But then again, you start slowing down. You say you're going to do it every day, then you slow down to 3 days, then you slow down to 1 day. Then you know anything, you're not doing it at all. So it's just something we make. There's promises we make, and 9 times out of 10, we know we're not going to be able to keep them. So,
what's one resolution you feel that you've made in your life that actually stuck, and what made it different?
I can't say that I made no promise in my life that I lived up to all through my life. I won't lie and say I have, because I have. You know, I've tried to be a better person, you know, from back in the day. I tried to do things differently, try to think differently, but in the end, it's always something come up that comes into that premises that I couldn't sustain my promises to myself. I don't make promises to anyone. I make promises to myself. Just like now, I done made myself a promise. I'm gonna exercise and watch my diet at least 3 days a week, and I'm gonna keep that promise. So
that's not too hard to do.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not over challenging yourself.
I'm not over promising myself. And like I say, I didn't make this promise. You're the only person that I've told this to.
Well, now you told it to the Streetdawg family.
Now I told it to the Streetdawg Nation. But other than that, for as people around me, my sisters or my nieces and nephews, I haven't made that promise, and I'm not gonna make it. I have to live up to this promise myself. I'm not doing this to impress anyone else. I'm doing it for my sake, my well-being. So that's just the way I look at it, you know.
Fair enough. At this stage of your life, do resolutions become more about doing better or letting go of what no longer serves you? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, if you start doing better, the past resolutions don't mean nothing. You have to look forward. And as long as you make, you know, I promise God that I'm going to try to be a better man each day. And that's what I try to do. My past is my past. I don't worry too much about my past. I let it go. I let my past go, and I ask God to help me as I go along my way. For him to help me be a better person every day. I do something to better myself, to better people around me every day. And that's what I strive to do, is do better every day. My past is my past. I can't change that. And that's where a lot of people make their mistake at. They try to go back and try to do things differently than they did before. I done forgot most of my past is gone. I don't even think about it. I just try to live better and do better things with my life now. I feel now I ask God to forgive me for all the wrong that I did back in the day. And I'm asking him to help me be a better man, a better person today. And I ask him the same thing in the morning when I wake up, if he lets me wake up. That's just my philosophy on life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you had to give these youngsters one rule about resolutions for 2026, what would it be?
Don't overpromise. Don't. If you're sitting thinking, well, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Keep it to yourself. Don't overpromise. Don't get out, put things out there that you know damn near is impossible a promise to keep. Don't promise no more than you feel that you can keep. And that's been a lot of people mistake all through life, is that they make promises. When they make them, they know they can't keep them, but they know they're doing things, saying things that people want to hear. And that's the worst thing you can do, is promise something that you know you cannot keep. That's all. I just try to live up to whatever you say you're gonna do. And don't make promises that you know you can't keep. So that's all I can say to these young folks today, and they don't want to hear. Old folks don't want to hear nothing old folks want to say anyway. So I try to stay away from trying to give them any type of advice.
Why do you think the youngsters don't want to get no wisdom from the OGs, Popz?
Because they feel that the old folks are living in the past. And things nowadays that we did in the past will not work now. And it's true. But there's still some wisdom in things that we did and how we lived back in the day. Because number one, it wasn't so much killing, wasn't so much robbing, wasn't so much rape, and wasn't so much suicide back in the day. So it's a lot these young people can live and learn if they would just listen and take heed to what's being put. The program is laid out for these young people if they abide by it. But they don't want to hear what old folks got to say. They really don't. Oh, you living in the past. Nobody want to hear that.
Well, it's not about living in the past. It's about understanding the history of how things evolved into how it is now. And
well, they feel if they do some of the things that we are putting in front of them, that means they want us to live in the past. We want them to live in the past like we did. That's the way they look at elderly people. We don't know. We can't grasp what's going on now. They feel they are so much ahead of us that we are too old to grasp what's being done and said now for people. So they look at us like, oh man, you living in the past. Nobody want to hear that, And this is the way they think, And now I just kind of refuse if I had a chance to give some young people some advice, I don't think I would give it to them. For the simple reason it goes in one ear and goes out their ass. They don't want to hear it. It's just simple as that.
That's a hard place where you take it through the ear and it goes out the ass. That's a pretty unusual transition, but I understand.
That's the way they look at what we say. What we say don't mean diddly to them. They look at you, man, like, oh, motherfucker, go sit down somewhere. We don't want to hear this shit. And that's why a lot of them is getting killed and stuff like that. But, like I said, if I had a chance to give some information, I don't think I would try to give it to them. For the simple reason they don't want to hear it.
Hey, we're here with Streetdawg Worldwide, Howlin with the big dog. If you can, like, subscribe to our channel, give a comment, let us know what we're doing, and see how you're thinking in regard to what we're talking about. We welcome anything good, bad, or in between. We're going to transition now into the sports world, specifically football, the ball of foots. Hey, the last week of the NFL is coming up, and week 18, Popz. Some team is probably going to rest some starters while others fight for their lives. As a fan of the game, which approach do you respect more?
Well, if you're in the playoff already, I don't see playing your starters. I really don't, because you can end up some of them getting hurt, and then that dampers your chance of being in the Super Bowl. So if you want to rest your starters, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with resting your starters.
Okay. What do you think of the games that happened this previous weekend? The Rams end up losing to the Falcons. You picked the Rams, didn't you?
Yeah. I put my foot in my mouth again. So hey, what can I say? There's a lot of scores. A lot of teams scored in the 40s over the weekend. They had like 3 or 4 teams in the 40s, 3 or 4 teams in the 30s. But all I can say is defenses wasn't playing too well. You know, when you score, the Bears scored 38 points. Anytime you score 38 points, you're supposed to win. I don't care what team you are. You're supposed to win if you score 38 points. And 49ers had to score 42 to win. That show you that the Bears defense wasn't worth 2 dead flies either. So it wasn't too much.
Bears has been for the last month and a half, for the last 6 weeks, the NFL Network had the Bears games as the game of the week.
That was a good game.
All the Bears games has been nail biters, which makes me concerned about how it's going to be in the playoffs. Our defense, boy, we get turnovers, but you know it's just been tough. I can't even analyze how crazy it's been. But at the same time, Popz, I was not expecting them to be this deep in the playoff picture, to be in the second seed. I wasn't even expecting that. So shit, give it to
me. By them getting a new coach and new offensive coordinator and just say the new quarterback, because he's on his second year, it's just nobody, me, you, and no one else feel that they would be where they're at today. We was hoping. I know quite naturally you were, but I had no faith.
I'm like Jesse Jackson, keeping hope alive. That's how I roll.
Well, you're a fan of theirs, and you're a true blue fan, So as long you stuck with them, no matter what, all the years they've been losing, you've been sticking with them.
Yeah, don't remind me.
But hey, you got something to smile about this year. This is the first time they've been this far in what? A decade?
I think since 2018, 2019, something like that.
That's a decade, damn near. That's 8-9 years, man. So you should be proud of them. With a fairly new quarterback, a brand new coordinator, a brand new coach, and the defense is playing fairly well.
I know we got some momentum coming for the next couple of years to come. Got some nice momentum.
They get the defense right. The offense is done came a long ways since the first of the year. They really
a long way.
Yeah. So I feel if they get some guys on that defense that want to play, and sure up the offense, maybe get another wide receiver and some more offensive guards and tackles and stuff, and they should be all right for the next, both quarterback wise and coach wise. I think they're gonna be all right for the next 3, 4, 5 years. I really do. I really do.
So for now, give me your top 2 teams in the AFC and your top 2 teams in the NFC.
Woo. Trying to think.
It's tough. It's
that
tough
you
to
feel
choose.
that you feel that's gonna be playing to go to the Super Bowl. That's what you mean, right?
The 2 teams that's gonna be in the AFC championship,
and
the 2 teams that will be in the NFC championship.
Okay, the 2 on each side fighting for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm afraid to open my mouth on that. Well, from where it looks right now, it's going to be the Seahawks. They're in the what? AFC, right? NFC. The Seahawks and I think who else is in the NFC? Seahawks and what about the Eagles? They in the NFC too, also, right?
Yeah.
AFC. I would say the Eagles, the main way it looks now, is going to be the Eagles and Seahawks that's going to be fighting to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then the AFC, I'm gonna say the I'm gonna say the Packers
That's stay in the
and the
NFC.
Bears. But what about the Bears? Bears in the AFC?
Bears is in the NFC.
Damn, who in the hell is in the AFC then? I didn't get that. I didn't write that down.
The Ravens, the Patriots, the
Okay.
Broncos,
Okay,
the
I'm gonna go.
Chargers,
That's fun. Now I'm gonna go with the Patriots and the Broncos to be
and
fighting
the
it out for
AFC.
the in the AFC. Yeah.
Okay.
And who comes out of that? And then 9 times out of 10, I'll be wrong in that too. Because these teams, they get to a certain spot, they
Now,
seem to fold a little bit.
you mentioned the situation where coaching wants to be the stars, but at this point of the season, is coaching or leadership in the locker room more important?
I'm gonna say that the locker room now is more important than what the coaching is going to be done. It's going to be who the players want to follow. The captains in the locker room or the coaches on the field. Yeah, when they get on the field, who they going to follow, who they have faith in. That's in the play calling and the execution. That's going to be the main thing. You can have great calling, but will they be able to execute the calling? That's going to be up to. I feel it's going to be up to the leaders on the team to lead the
Now,
defense.
most of these leaders in the locker room are some youngsters. Okay.
Well,
Now here's a question. Because I'm saying the youngsters because there's a lot of young quarterbacks in the league. First year, second year, third year, fourth year quarterbacks. That's considered young to an extent. So ultimately, what position do you feel is the ultimate leader in the locker room?
the captain on the captains in the defensive side. I feel that the team is going to follow the defense when it comes down to winning championship. It's how the defense conduct themselves. Are they going to get out there and play like the stars they're supposed to be? Going to lead the team. And I do believe that the defense has set the tone for teams. Believe it or not, the offense score all the points. Defense might get a pick six every 3 or 4 games. Every five games out of 16, they might get a pick six. But I think the defense set the tone for a team winning or losing. That's just my outlook on it.
Streetdawg Worldwide, we howling with the big dog. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us, give a comment or two because the playoffs is coming up big this year. Now, Popz, do you believe momentum going into the playoffs really matters? Or does everything reset once the postseason starts?
If you might have played, to me, more momentum don't mean dipping. Because you might have played this team before during the year. And when it comes to playoff, teams are much different. Their mindset is a lot different once they get in the playoff. So you might have ran over them the first time. You might have scored 25, 30 points on them. But come playoffs, it's a different animal. So momentum during the year where you got all this season ahead of you, but here is just one game. So momentum really don't mean that. To me, it really don't mean that. because you are facing a different animal when you go into playoff facing a team. So if you win your last game of the season and in the playoff, that don't mean you're going to run into a easier team when you go into playoff. Because everybody got there for some reason, and they was playing good to get there. So if you want to go with momentum, their momentum put them, got them there. So you're running momentum and running into momentum. So to me, it don't mean nothing. It's who plays the best that day. That's what means to, what everything comes down to.
Okay. Good stuff, Pops. Now, whether it's life's resolutions or playoff football, what's the one quality that separates people who talk about change from those who actually live it, Pops?
Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. I can get out here and say whatever the hell I wanted. And at the time, it don't bit more meaning than nothing. It's living, breathing, helping people. Put your words to out there for everyone to see that, hey, he wasn't just talking, he's doing what he's, preaching. He's practicing what he preaches. So I just feel if you get out there, you see a lot of people talk loud and saying nothing. You get out there and do things, that matters more than whatever you could say running your mouth. So actions speak louder than words to me.
All right. Well, as we close this episode and step toward 2026, I want to leave the Streetdawg family with this message. A new year doesn't change your life. A new decision does. Resolutions ain't about perfection. They're about commitment when no one's watching. They're about choosing discipline over comfort, growth over excuses, and purpose over the noise. Whatever 2026 brings, wins or losses, highs or hard lessons, show up resolved. Resolved to be honest with yourself, resolved to do the work even when it's uncomfortable, and resolved to treat people with respect, including yourself. Don't chase motivation, you build habits. Don't wait for permission, take responsibility. Here on behalf of Streetdawg Worldwide and Howlin with the Big Dog, we wish you nothing but health, clarity, strength, and peace for you and your families in the year ahead. May your steps be intentional, your mind be focused, and your resolve be unshakable. If this conversation added value to your life, make sure you subscribe to the Streetdawg Worldwide YouTube channel, share this episode, and keep the dialogue going. Remember, continue to live, love, laugh, listen, and learn, and we move forward one bark, one bite, one bone at a time, and we hope you do the same. We'll see you in 2026, stronger, wiser, and resolved. Good job, Pops. Love you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you too, man. Happy New Year to you. And Happy New Year to everyone out there listening or watching us on YouTube. And we appreciate you, subscribing. If you haven't, do so, and we appreciate it. And love your family. And tell your family you love them. Don't just sit around and, oh man, I love you. No, that's not the thing to do. Tell them, hey, sweetheart, I love you. And hug your kids. Tell them you love them. Hug your wife, your mother, father-in-law, mother-in-law. Just tell them you love them. And when you tell them you love them, mean it. Don't just say it because it's a word. You know. Be happy. Have a great new year, everyone.
Yep, we'll see you in 2026. God bless you.
And I hope your resolutions come true.
And to my older sisters, Michelle and Stephanie, continue to rest in peace. You are loved, honored, and terribly missed. Your baby brother loves you. And this concludes the segment of Howlin' with the Big Dawg.